Right, let's get started. So, welcome everybody, welcome. So again, today's session is going to be about effective time management. As you know, I've been going since 8 this morning, and it's crucial that we have time management in our life. It's everything, it's structure, it gives us, I guess some structure in our life. Let's call it that way. So we're going to be going over how to effectively manage your time, because as business owners, we're all over the place and we're being pulled 7 different ways throughout the day. Whether it's by our team members, whether it's by emails, whether it's by someone else's priority that they feel should be our priority, and it just comes down to, are we effectively managing our time? And, as they say, we all got the same 24 hours in a day, but it's all about what you do with yours. And that's real important. Just that line, that statement by itself is just so important, where it's just like, okay, what are you doing with your 24 hours? Are you getting up earlier in the day because you just feel like you're getting lost in your day, such as, oh, well, let me get up at 5 a.m. so I can get a start on my day because, I just don't have enough time to do everything that I need to do. Or could you just use an effective tactic in place and better manage your time, managing your schedule to be able to get everything done when you need to get everything done? And hey, maybe you might need that extra hour or 2 hours because, you're just that busy and you really do need that time. But if you start to realize that, you are actually, you really don't need that time based on actually having someone or having something that can manage your time better, then I think it'll be the difference. So let's get started. And just to go over the benefits of time management, it's basically, some benefits are basically own your day, own your mind, accomplish what you set out to do, and also, most important, a work-life balance. Some of the flaws can be, if you miss a task or objective, it can frustrate you because you're like, well, hey, I said I was supposed to have, I was supposed to be working on these processes from 10 to 12, and the phone's just been blowing up. I haven't been able to answer. I haven't been able to work on nothing. And it now frustrates you. So now you're trying to play catch up throughout the day. You're trying to find that 2-hour block that's gone. And you're just like, oh man, I said I was going to do it. I didn't do it. Like, you're mentally, it can be frustrating and down, and you try to figure out later in the day, oh, you know what I'll do is I'll do my process creation from 5 to 7. And 5 to 7 is like, well, no, 5 to 7, no, you're supposed to be living your life at that point. Your work day is over, but it's one of those things where you feel like you need to do it, and now your clock just gets out of control, where now you're doing 5 to 7 tasks that you should have did from 10 to 12. You're doing your 11 to 12 stuff at 8 to 9, and you're just like, okay, I got to get it done. And then you realize that, hey, you done already messed up everything. Everything's behind. Everything's gone. So hey, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad if you miss a task. If it's something that could be rescheduled to another block of time, or whether maybe you have free time in that same day or another day, hey, schedule it for another day. There's nothing wrong with that, but you have to stay disciplined to your schedule. And we'll go over how a schedule actually looks. Let's see what else we have. So also, some of the benefits, when you have your block time, some of the things you want to look out for is distractions, such as emails. People constantly ask you questions throughout the day, especially if you're at the office all day long. And people making their problems your problems. So one of the big things is emails. So how many times could you say that you actually check your emails throughout the day? Some people may say, oh man, every time I see a notification pop up, I'm checking my emails. And that's a distraction. That takes you away from what you should be doing. So one of the things that you could be doing is checking your email maybe twice to 3 times a day. Because obviously some of us, there's important stuff going on in our email. So when you get up maybe in the morning, before the start of your work day, prime time, like say 8, 9 o'clock, when you know people may have emailed you last night or whatever the case is. Hey, check your email around 9 o'clock. Then maybe around lunchtime, take a little quick peek. Okay, hey, what's going on in there? 12:30ish, 1 o'clock, or whatever the case is. Take a little quick sneak peek. All right, nothing good going on in there. All right, you know what? And then around maybe like 4:30 before you clock out for the day. Hey, let me take another quick peek. And some people might be fearful of that because they're like, oh man, you know what? If I take a sneak peek, around 4:30, what about all those emails between 12:30 and 4? Those might be really important. Well, you can find a prime time in there, but I wouldn't check it again more than 3 times a day, because basically that really stops you from doing everything that you really need to do throughout the day, because you're getting distracted with social media stuff. If you're on social media, you're getting distracted with email stuff. You're getting distracted with normal distractions. Hey, your guy's calling you in the field because, oh, well, there's an issue with a customer, or there's something going on where you have to put out a fire. And these are all distractions from completing your block time. So eliminate as many as you can. So if you do get faced with one, because we will get faced with one, it's not so many. And it's maybe something that can get, that'll be 5 minutes of your time versus, oh, well, this is going to take 5 minutes. This is going to take 5 minutes. This is going to take 5 minutes. And now you realize that you're really behind on your schedule for the day. So there are a lot of big CEOs, that use this block schedule. So it's not like, oh, well, this is a new concept that's on the market. There's a lot of people using this. It's just a lot of people don't use it because they don't know how to use it. But if you Google block time, I'm going to share my screen. All right. If you Google block time, you're going to see all types of block time calendars or whatever the case is. Like in this prime example here, this person is working out, workout and shower from 6 a.m. to 7:30 or 8 o'clock. And then, meet with Nancy, work on projects, and it's by the hour, so basically there could be certain times like Sunday, like in this case here, this person has nothing going on until 10 a.m. And that's perfectly fine. You want to leave some time in your schedule so that pretty much you can do other things. So if you had a doctor's appointment or you don't know what's going to come up, maybe set a meeting or whatever the case is, you want to have some block time in your schedule, some free time in your schedule, so that pretty much you can do the unknown. Lunch is consistent, it's around 12:30 p.m. most days or so like that. Study for class, which is on Saturdays or whatever. So again, this is a typical block time. You can find more here where, hey, this person here they got this going on from 9 to 11. There's breaks at 11 a.m. There's deep work at 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. And this is powerful in its own, guys. Just understand that people are doing this because basically it makes life so much easier. It seems like a lot of hard work getting started, but once you get into a routine of, okay, you know what am I doing today? You know what? And I have this brain fart every day. It's like, okay, what are you doing today? Okay, you know what? Let me check my calendar. Okay, so from 9 to 10, you're supposed to be doing this, and 10 to 12, you're supposed to be doing this. Okay, now it helps me get back on track because our mind wanders all over the place as entrepreneurs. And having this guide for ourselves help keep us on track. So even if you're talking to John today, I'm making up a name, even if you're talking to John today and John says, hey, let's get a schedule on the board for next week, Wednesday. Hey, look at your calendar and say, okay, you know what, next week, Wednesday. All right, I could probably do between 12 and 1. All right, 12 and 1. That sounds like it could work. All right. And you put John on the calendar for 12 to 1. And it just starts to build like that. And you're going to have your normal staples. And your normal staples are going to be, hey, what is your morning routine? What time do you do your morning routine? Is it between 6 and 7 or 7 and 8? All right. Is that across the board Monday through Friday? All right. So then obviously, if you're using a Google Calendar, you can put 6 to 7, Monday through Friday, repeat. morning routine. And with that said, now every day you're going to get a notification on your phone saying, hey, morning routine is about to start. All right. And it may get annoying, but at the end of the day, it's going to keep you straight. Now, you'll get that clock, that alert 30 minutes or an hour in advance for John. Hey, you got a meeting with John at 1 o'clock on Wednesday. Okay, now I know, let me get ready for my meeting. And this is powerful. This is very, very powerful for your effective time management. So here's another example of one. So this was one I just created or so like that. And again, you know, we're going to go over, hey, 5 a.m. Let me start my morning routine. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, I'm going to sleep in until 6. And then I'll start my morning routine on Thursday. You know, maybe I might push my breakfast time back to 7 a.m. because normally breakfast is around 6 a.m. And then, you know, Saturday is going to be my day off. Sunday, you know, what am I doing Sunday? Okay, maybe around 3 on Sunday, I'm going to probably do personal development time between 3 and 5. And, you know, you can mix it up however you feel. But now that you realize that after you start your work day at 8, you don't have anything going on really between 9 and 11. So that's where John is coming in. John said, hey, what time do you have available on, what is this, Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. Oh, I have available 10 a.m. to 11 or 9:30 to 10:30 or whatever the case is. However you want to do it, because you know you have a meeting at 11. And that's how you stack up your calendar and say, okay, let me get John in here. All right, he's going to be at 9 a.m. this day. All right, and then I got another sales meeting on Thursday at 10 a.m. And you basically run your day off your calendar. And my biggest belief is, if it ain't on there, it don't exist. So there might be people like, hey, I thought we were supposed to meet up or whatever the case is. Were you on my calendar? I think not. You know, and that's not to be rude or anything, but it's kind of like, hey, you know, we run very, very busy lives. And, you know, if we don't have something to balance this very, very busy life, our life is thrown in chaos. You know, and, you know, again, at the end of the day, you say, well, hey, 5 p.m. is the end of my work day. 6 p.m. I'm going to spend probably the rest of the night with the family or whatever the case is. And that's how you essentially just kind of run your days and blocks. You know, ideally, again, you're leaving some free time, especially if you're an owner that's still on the truck or whatever the case is. You know, and if it's that case that you may have to run out for the day because there's some emergency, hey, check your schedule real quick. Oh man, a guy didn't come to work. Oh, man, I gotta have to go out in the field or whatever the case is. Trust me, I've been through it as well. So now I'm gonna say, well, hey, it's Monday, you know, and that's prime time when some people don't like to show up after the weekend. I don't know why, but Monday comes and you're like, okay, you know what? Let me look at my work week. Okay, well, I have a meeting. What type of meeting is that? Is that an important meeting? Or is that a meeting I could push back? Nah, that's not that important. Okay, you know what? Let me see if I can squeeze this meeting in on Tuesday. All right. Well, lunch, obviously, that's going to just happen when it happens. And then implement loading process. Okay, you know what? How big is this job today? Well, if we go out there and we get there about 9 and it's about a few hours, I could probably still make this happen when I get back. Okay. And essentially, that's kind of how you run your blocks, your block of time, your block of days, making it effective to make sure that you can still complete everything. You know, you don't have to have a list of 100 to do things and figuring out, okay, you know what, when can I get this done? When can I get this done? When can I get this done? Put those 100 things on your block time. You know, even if you call it to-do list. Okay, you know what? Crush some to-do list items. And, you know, and you could probably make that 2 hours worth. And basically now, hey, everything that's on your list, can you look to try to get that done, as much of it done as possible within the 2 hour block frame? Undistracted from emails. Now you could put in check emails here. And you could put, hey, you know what? If it's lunchtime, hey, you know what? Check emails. And start of your day. Okay, well, hey, work day. Okay, check emails, you know, however many times you need to, but don't, if it's, again, try to avoid the distractions as much as possible. That's going to be key to effective time management. That's how you manage your time management. And some people's, again, calendars might be blasted full with just different colors of different things that they're doing. You know, it's just a matter of breaking it down, making sure that you have enough time in your schedule. If you have a meeting at 10 a.m. and then have a meeting at 11 a.m., then have a meeting at 12 p.m., that becomes a little chaotic itself, because basically now, you know, you need a little bit of wrap-up time before every meeting. And some people like to carry the meetings over in time. And that alone can cause you to be late to your next meeting, which then causes you to be late to your next meeting. So give yourself a little time between different tasks on your calendar to, you know, wrap up, get your mind right, you know, go jump around, listen to some music, get motivated, something, you know, before you go into the next section or the next block frame, so that you go in there with your head clear. You know, when you cut off for the day, and you say, hey, this is end of work day, and now 6 p.m. comes and it's family time and you're still thinking about work. No, the goal is, hey, you know what? I cut off at 5 p.m. This 5 p.m. wrap up is going to basically take me until about 5:30-ish, you know, to put everything down, say, hey, you know what? All right, I'm going to wrap up the day. There's some things I need to be working on tomorrow. You know, you're going to still have work on your brain and stuff like that. So by 5:59, you need to, like, okay, you know what? Shift to another robot gear. Hey, family time. Oh, yo, let's party. You know, whatever you got to do. But that 6:00, your mind should be focused on, okay, you know what? Family time. No recap of work. I'm not talking about work. The day is over. You know, if I want to talk about work, I'll talk about work tomorrow. But basically, this is going to help you, the health of your mentals, seriously, with getting all this in order and really scheduling your block time out perfectly. All right, so this is going to take some practice, everybody, if you haven't been doing it. But I would say just start off, even if you got a lot of free spots in your day, like this Friday on here, where it's just so much free time, I mean. Start off somewhere. And I promise you, it'll start building up if you stay consistent. And you'll realize how much more effectively things are getting done, and how much you're able to achieve in a single day. All right, so let me know if y'all have any questions. And again, I'm Dwight with Max Movement Training. I hope this was effective. I hope it did help. And all right, you guys, y'all take care. Later.